Well, howdy, folks. I'm Lexus Hikes, and welcome to part 3 of my journey along the Bruce Trail. In my last video, I left off partway through Caledon Hills and at the end of my September 2023 hiking adventures. When I got home, I did what I usually do, which is, clean up, get back to work, and get back to regular boring life. Still got out on local trails and definitely did my best to try and catch the leaves changing color in the fall. But I didn't get back onto the Bruce Trail until the end of October. So I hopped back on, and I knew at that point that I had a whole lot to do. I had a lot of kilometers to catch up, especially if I wanted to finish by September of 2024. So I put the pressure on and got myself going, and now we're going to have a look at what I did throughout the year. This is going to take us through Iroquois, the parts that I filled in. So it's going to go from October to May. You'll see the weather change and the trail conditions change, and my gear changes. But beautiful as always, and let's have a little look. My first hike back on trail after my September trip was a fairly easy day, but before I'd started at this point, I had about 122 kilometers done of Niagara and a little bit into Iroquois, and then I had 94.5 kilometers done from Toronto just into Caledon Hills. So this was an easy one, 5 kilometers covered, but it was in and out, so it was a 10-kilometer day. Beautiful fall colors out in full effect. Enjoy! And again, I stepped off the Bruce Trail for a little while. I enjoyed the holiday seasons and worked a ton of overtime, as I do. But I realized that it had hit 2024, and I hadn't even filled in that little spot around there, never mind to Toronto, never mind beyond Caledon Hills. So I knew I needed to get myself motivated and going. It was a cold day at the end of February, and I had time off to go hiking, and I was prepared to go, but I just wasn't really feeling it that day. However, months prior, I had been on a podcast with that witch KARENA. I'll put her information in the link below. She's wonderful if you want to check out all things magical and spooky. Never mind, she's just an interesting human being, so she had messaged me this day to say, the podcast comes out today. And I thought, okay, that's my cue to go. So I'm going to get on trail. I'm going to listen to it on my way home, which is always weird. But if anything, I will say it was a great day. And 2024 itself really rekindled my love of all-season hiking. I'd always been into going out in any kind of weather. But as I got older, I had really just started to stick to the spring and the fall when it's comfortable. So this pulled me out of that comfort zone again and reminded me that it's always perfect weather for a hike.
Well, I can't say the Bruce Trail is all nature, because it's not. And that's the reality of the escarpment. But it's pretty freaking cool. Woo! Breathing in that fresh exhaust. Hamilton fresh. It's not necessarily time for a break, and it is winter, and I should be careful with the sun, but for the first time ever, I've come across a bench when I actually kind of need one. So, pause, listen, rest, remember, Joan and Frank Pierce. Thanks, peeps. This is where I entered in last time I went for a hike on the Bruce, which was the end of October of this year, and here we are in February.
That hike inspired me, as did the beautiful weather we got at the start of March. So this is March 4th. Otherwise known in my world as Army Day, because my father always celebrated it because, March 4th. And he has been saying this to me since I was a small child, and used to go to school, in fact, and wish everyone else a happy Army Day, because that's what I thought it was an actual thing. Anyhow, he claims it, and I give him credit. Anytime I hear it referenced now on anything, I'm like, hey, I know the inventor of that day. But here we go. I marched forth.
Oh my goodness, here we are. The second cat I've ever seen on trail. Hi. Hello, beautiful kitten. Oh my goodness. You are special. Hi.
Yes. What is it? I don't like it. But I'm going to go look at it because why wouldn't I?
Well, worth the wait. For once, worth the wait. I found the absolute perfect spot to stop for lunch. So I might have to pee by the end of it. So that, right next to that waterfall, is where I just had my lunch. So I think this is Highway 6. Not quite sure. It looks like I'm going to go under it. I guess I'm walking through this. I might get my soul snatched up halfway through. Somebody dropped their doobie, and that makes me really, really sad. Definitely didn't make it as far as I was thinking I was going to, but I did injure my foot like a week and a bit ago, so I was feeling some pain there and thought maybe not push it. But it has been absolutely gorgeous. The sun came out. The fog lifted like probably 40 minutes into my hike, if that. So I have 1.5 kilometers to go. I'm taking a side trail out, so I'm adding, like, I think half of that 1.5 kilometers will be the side trail getting off here. But it's okay, because it's been a wonderful day, and I did what I could. You know, I gotta start putting so much damn pressure on myself. I really do. It's been an adventure today. There's been a lot of cool stuff that I saw. And like absolutely nobody on the trail. The only people I saw were when I crossed over through city areas, so it's been nice. There's a ravine. There's a shopping cart. There's a shopping cart in the ravine. Alright, here's where I was the other day. So I gotta take this access trail down into a gully and then up like 150 meters. Farts. That's gonna be a good day. I don't know if there's any more coming. 2 little turkeys just came up from here, and then I tried to videotape them, but I wanted to just watch them instead. I think they're gone now. Oh, they're up at the top of the hill. I can see them going. He's running. I can't see, but that was neat. Alright, just stopped for break number 1, and it's beautiful, but it's been uppy downy. Saw some wild turkeys across the railroad. Ugh, can't talk. And I just hydrated too, and took a pee. So that's where we're at, and it's muddy today. I love it. Nice little meander bend, following the path of least resistance. Except that's not my day today, because I just did a bunch of up and overs. Did not feel least resistance at all. And sometimes it's just not break time, but then you get to this beautiful stream. I've got a bench. And also you're hungry, because you passed wild turkeys on the trail. So you wanted a turkey pepperette. I'm sorry, guys. Well, we get this thing in Canada called false spring. And that's what this was. I had a couple of good hikes in false spring weather, but by the end of March, the snow came back and the winter returned for one more fellow swoop. Now, I had mentioned earlier that I didn't take my own advice, and I put absolute pressure on myself to get the hike done. And
It's because I realized, the year was going by fast. I had limited time off, and the farther away from my home base, the harder it was going to be to plan accommodations and transport and everything else. So I panicked, and I put all this pressure on myself and planned a trip for the end of March to go up to Caledon Hills and finish that and finish Dufferin Highlands, and I'd have time off work to do it. But of course, this weather swooped in. Now, this is Iroquois, so you're not really looking at the brunt of it, but up where I was supposed to be, roads were closed because of bad conditions, and my low riding car was never going to make it. So I ended up staying home, having a staycation, but I did get out on trail this day, and despite not wanting to go with all the crappy weather, it ended up being one of the best hikes I had on the Bruce Trail.
It's the sound of me heavy breathing. So I just came from this way and then was like, oh my god, that's so cute. And then kept walking down onto someone's property. Sorry to that person. Good. So just added a hill, a couple 100 meters to my day for no reason. Good thing it's really nice out. Well, folks, why not come down the road with me a little bit? I am, this is what it looks like. Off yonder, way up there, is where my car is. Okay, I've stopped for a little break, and it's snowing, but it's like that wet snow. So I'm sitting on a tiny little garbage bag, though my pants are waterproof anyways, under a little trail signage. I'm gonna have some snacks now because I'm hungry.
It was, of course, no surprise to me that when I got to the parking lot, it was void of any cars other than my own, because the trail was void of anyone but me. And I did indeed void on the trail, which is really chilly to do in that kind of weather. Cold on the cheeks. As much as I do enjoy a backcountry trip, and I do have decades of experience canoeing and hiking and camping in the backcountry, there is something lovely about a day hike and the comforts that you can get afterwards. There really is, because I toasted my buns on the way home in my car with my heated seat. Perhaps that's what I like about hiking most. There's varying degrees that you can do, and there really is no wrong way to do it. As long as you got a first aid kit, extra water, and a good pair of shoes, you're on the right track. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Again, make sure you check out That Witch KARENA and get yourself out on a trail. I mean it when I say it is always perfect weather for a hike, and it does not matter your experience level. But as always, stay safe and happy hiking.
And now the clouds are rolling in. Oh, let's just hope it's not thunderstorms.